over 600,000 people go missing in the United States each year. Tens of thousands remain mysteriously missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mysteriously Missing. I'm Justine.
Hi, I'm Karen.
Today's episode is part 2, and we're discussing the case of Samantha Claire Sayers. She is 28 years old today, but was 27 when she went missing, and she has been missing since August 1st of 2018. Now, Samantha had set out on a solo day hike at Vesper Peak. She is an avid hiker and has done this hike several times. She was last seen near the summit of the difficult 5-mile trail to Vesper, which is east of Granite Falls along the Mountain Loop Highway. Samantha was to contact her boyfriend around 6 o'clock that night when she was on her way home. When she didn't call, he went to the area to search for her and contacted the ranger station. Now we're going to get into the extensive search to find Sam. But really quick, if you haven't listened to part 1, please go check it out on either YouTube or iTunes, just so you know the entire story.
So now we're 3 days after Sam went missing on August 4th, and this is Saturday and the weekend. Snowhawk 1 conducted air search operations for 33 hours over the whole weekend. Search and rescue teams and volunteers from King, Skagit, Kitsap, Kittitas, and Pierce counties had deployed along with 4 other mountain rescue squads. Trained dogs sought scents and human trackers scoured for footprints. Others examined the creek. Sergeant Adams established operations bases at nearby Big 4 ice caves and at Spada Lake, far below Vesper's southeast side. A dozen Air Force pararescue personnel came up from Oregon. The Navy flew a mission. The general in charge of the Washington National Guard offered his own helicopter.
This is amazing.
Extensive search.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are getting the word out. They're getting help. Somebody knows somebody, because I haven't seen that in any rescue that we've looked at.
Right. Now, this is a quick side note. When the U.S. Department of the Interior tried to build a database of such events, the effort drew criticism as an expensive and malfunctioning system. One count estimates 1,600 people are currently missing on public lands. The system is so broke, they don't even track it, says David Francis, whose son, John, had disappeared in Idaho in 2006. Like Sam, John summited a mountain and then vanished. We can get statistics on auto accidents, but they're not collected for people missing in the wilderness. The search for John lasted only 2 days before the county sheriff pulled out, and as David remembers, told him he should give his son up to the mountain. The Snohomish County Sheriffs Office launched 310 search and rescue missions in 2018, up 6% from 2017. The county's search and rescue spent around 20,000 hours on missions in 2018, with approximately 8,000 of those hours looking for Sam.
You know, we've talked about how people go missing in national forests and they're not really getting documented properly.
Right.
So this is another person who lost a son to the wilderness. No, just totally vanished, and
he's upset.
He's upset, and now he's become kind of an advocate for other people that have gone missing. He's stating the same thing we've heard before. So
right now, from his home in Minnesota, David Francis says that in the decade he's followed lost hiker cases, he's never seen anything like the search for Sam. I was amazed. They are the most dedicated West Coast county sheriffs I have ever seen.
And so these sheriffs have really done their part and gone on it. They really care, and they've said, let's do this the right way.
Well, look at his son went missing, and they gave up after 2 days.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
Yes.
That's horrible.
This is definitely a different task force that's on this. The AFRCC, or Air Force Rescue Coordination Center, was actively monitoring Sam's phone for pings or a sign of brief connectivity to cellular sites. They'd had nothing since mid-afternoon on August 1st when Sam's phone pinged near the summit, as we mentioned earlier, one of the only areas with even spotty cell service. So there was a little cell service up there, and they did see there was a ping.
Right.
And then Sam's phone pinged, a sign it was on and working, and it was in Seattle, in Belltown, where she lived. So Seattle PD were dispatched to the coordinates, but when they knocked on the door to Kevin and Sam's apartment, it was Kevin's mother, Dawn, who'd flown in from Louisiana and had spent the day working with a phone carrier to access information on Sam's missing cell phone. The best they could do, the carrier said, was load the SIM signature onto Dawn's mobile and effectively cloning Sam's iPhone, and that was what it pinged. So what a disappointment.
Yeah, that's a little strange, though. I don't know. Can you really copy someone's? I guess if you had the SIM card, you can put it in another phone.
Yeah, they're thinking that it seems like they transferred the data of what was going on with her phone into her mom's phone somehow, trying to get more information.
But I thought you always had to have the SIM card out of the phone that you wanted to copy. But I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, something's going on there where they somehow got a ping and police were dispatched. But again, another disappointment.
Yeah. Now, family members filled Ziploc baggies with snacks and instructions for Sam. They gave the bags to Snohomish County Search and Rescue, asking them to place them around the mountain.
That's kind of a neat idea.
It is kind of cool, yeah.
You know, here's a note to Sam. If you find this, stay put. We're coming for you.
We're looking for you.
Snacks.
Yeah. Now, around day 4 of the search, this is August 5th of 2018, Samantha's mother, Lisa, says that when she and Samantha's father, Ron, traveled to Washington a few days after their daughter vanished, she saw the dangerous mountainside herself. People don't realize how rugged it is, she said. The paths are pretty wide, but there are areas where there are cliffs. But Lisa trusts her daughter's hiking skills and knows she wouldn't have done anything stupid.
Yeah, she's a smart girl. She had those hiking poles.
Right.
She let her boyfriend know. You know, those poles help you get along and maneuver and not kind of slip, although you still can. Her boyfriend, knew where she was.
She brought food. She knew, she was hiking like a normal, person would do.
And there are some YouTubers that have videoed Google Earth the terrain, and there's also a guy doing drones of the terrain, and you can see how rugged it is. And then back to those little baggies, one thing that did happen was animals did get into the little bags of snacks, and which is
unfortunate, but yeah,
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So people saw her go up. A gentleman spoke to her at the summit, but nobody ever saw her come down. Did she go off the trail? Or did she go to the bathroom, or because someone made her feel uncomfortable? And this is her mom kind of contemplating what went on. We won't know until we find her, she said. The hard thing was not knowing it could be any situation, Kevin echoed. It could be that she is stuck in a crevice, or she could have panicked and been on the move for several days. She could be so far outside the containment zone of Vesper Peak by now.
And that, I have to say, is so scary to think about, that if she just took like one wrong turn, she could be in a whole different area that they're not even searching in. Yeah.
And that's been some of the concern with these people kind of mapping out the areas and trying to search for her.
Yeah. Now, Sam's mom, Lisa, asked Sergeant John Adams what he really thought. His policy is to be as honest as he can. He said, "I know you may not like this, but I think that Sam is dead. I think we're looking for a body." Lisa cried, he says, and gave him a hug. That was the last time that they had spoke.
Now we're at August 13th, and this is 12 days after she went missing. It's Sam's birthday, and she turned 28. She already had an especially difficult birthday hike planned out for that day, her mom said. It was the first time I didn't talk to her on her birthday. My husband's birthday was just one day before hers, and he refused to even acknowledge it. We're both just numb.
And on August 15th of 2018, a NamUs case was created for Sam. And then August 16th, Sergeant Adams emailed the doctor at Snohomish County EMS to ask how long a young, healthy person like Sam could survive on the berries that blanket the Western Cascades in late summer. The doctor's reply was, "Someone with mental fortitude and true survivor skills who can't find food to live on, that person would have walked out by now, I would think."
August 23rd, the official search for Sam went on for 22 days. Deputy Teskey was sitting with Kevin when word came that the county was officially suspending its search. They both cried. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office reports that in those 3 weeks, search operations included 357 hours for air, 105 hours for drone, 82 hours for the Marine unit to support search teams going into the search area for Spada Lake, and 329 hours for Sheriff's Office search and rescue personnel.
Now, Sergeant Adams said in a press release, "We have exhausted all leads and tips. We've interviewed all witnesses who have come forward. We have checked and double-checked the possible routes we believe Sam could have taken. If there was a place we thought she could get to, we put people there to look for her, often putting our volunteers and personnel at great risk due to the rugged, remote, and dangerous terrain."
And Lisa Sam's mom says that although some people were angry at the investigators' decision to suspend the search, she understands that. They can't spend their entire budget on one person. But that doesn't mean Sam's loved ones have stopped looking. People have been stranded in the wilderness a lot longer and survived, Lisa told Dateline. "Until there is proof my daughter is alive, we are going to keep searching."
I do have to say that Lisa's mom, saying that she's okay with them kind of suspending the search, it's different from the other cases that we've covered. A lot of the times these cases these people are ending these searches within 6 to 10 days.
Yeah, David Francis said 2 days. And then, we've had John Sturkey and Chris Fowler and Floyd, and those were 6 to 10 days. So this did go on extensively beyond that.
And here's a quick audio clip of Lisa at this point during Sam's disappearance.
We're just learning to be patient and to trust and to have faith and to believe that there is a reason for all of this.
So, 22 days in, and the family's not giving up.
Kevin told NBC station KING5, "We have known this day was coming and have been making preparations for some time. Authorities have gone above and beyond in the search for Sam, and I will always be indebted to them for their efforts." Kevin added that search efforts are ongoing as volunteer mountaineering groups are stepping up hard and covering a lot of ground. Lisa said Kevin also arranged for drones to fly through the hard-to-reach mountainsides where Sam could be stuck.
He went on to say, "The greatest thing we have had is the compassion of the community. We launched a massive social media campaign to get this information out there. We have people who are scouring Facebook and Instagram for clues, and that's the way we have found a lot of the witnesses who saw her on the mountain that day." Kevin continued to say that the countless volunteers who have helped, donating everything from $10 to their own private helicopters, have helped restore his faith in humanity. He says he has seen the same love on the mountain that Sam exudes every day.
So now it's August 27th. Lisa says Kevin is out on the mountain every day searching for Samantha. It's hard being in the mountain for 26 days. You start to hear and see things, and when the visibility goes and the cold sets in, it gets worse, and you feel like you spend half of your time chasing ghosts. And this was a post on Facebook by Kevin on August 26th. It also reminds me of just how difficult this task can be at times and makes me think of the countless others who have sacrificed both their bodies and their minds to our family. We owe all of you, whether you have spent one day with us or 26. You have made the greatest of differences, and we are more than humbled and forever in your debt.
In the subsequent days of the search, Kevin starting in the Sunrise Mine Trail parking lot met Cheryl Phillips, a dog handler from South Carolina, and her search dog, Raven. They were among the outside experts Kevin hired using money from the GoFundMe. Raven, the search dog, and her handler spent 39 days on the mountain, 17 of them in a row looking for Sam. Kevin's base camp on the mountain had a canvas tent with a peaked roof, like a homesteader's cabin made of fabric. It even had an iron box stove inside.
David Francis, who is the Minnesota man who lost his son 13 years earlier, now leads a foundation to aid the families of adults lost in the wilderness. He flew to Seattle to meet with Kevin and the county search and rescue team to make a plan. His advice? Follow the mountain man Bud Carr, an Eagle Scout who'd earned almost every merit badge. Impressed by Carr's careful hand-drawn maps and search experience, David Francis recommended he be put in charge of the family search operations. Between Carr's military mindset and Kevin's own stint in the Navy, they approached the mountain with a tactile eye. They called it Operation Relentless Pursuit.
So these two guys are joining forces up on the mountain, camping up there, and still holding a search.
Hope to find Samantha,
Yeah. Though Snohomish County had officially suspended its operation, Sergeant Adams came back up to snorkel Lake Elon in a thick, dry suit. He didn't think it was likely Sam had ended up there, but it was worth a look. There was nothing down there, he says. It looked like the moon. So even Sergeant Adams is still trying to help find Sam. Now, mid-October, 2.5 months after Sam vanished, Kevin and Bud Carr made the decision to pack up their camp and come down the mountain. Kevin made several more solo trips through November 14th. That was day 106.
So now it's December of 2018. Kevin says, "My diet is bad. I drink too much on occasion. I smoke too many cigarettes. Sam was my health dictator. Now she's gone. When Kevin returned from the search, real life was waiting. Kevin shut down the Facebook group and others sprung up in its wake. Sam's mother, Lisa, started one titled Love, Light, and Miracle, fueled by her faith that her daughter was still coming home. In regular live videos, she implied that the Sayers family was undergoing its own investigation. Steve Monchok, an area drone photographer, reported that he was at Big Four Ice Caves the day that Sam went missing. The Big Four Ice Caves is just a few miles away. He told deputies he spotted 2 suspicious men there. He began a Facebook group called The Truth of the Sam Sayers Case, where followers could swap theories. One made a timeline that runs more than 180 pages long.
Boy, people were really getting involved in this case.
They
Can
are.
you imagine doing a 180-page timeline? That's an extensive amount of time somebody spent on that.
It is, yeah. Now, eventually, even that produced a splinter group, The Truth of the Sam Sayers Case, Uncensored. People made YouTube videos, and there are giant Reddit threads. So there's a ton of people just in on this case with
Yeah, if
their
you
own
look-
opinions.
Yeah, and if you look on YouTube, everybody's kind of jumping in. So we just kind of want to solidify it and have it flow into a timeline and see if we could piece it together. So Steve Monchok, a former Army soldier who's typically hired to photograph weddings and real estate, estimates he's covered approximately 23 miles of terrain so far with his drone. I hike up the mountain and I can fly out about 3 to 4 miles from where I am standing. I can easily cover more area in a day than 100 searchers can, and it's being done without endangering lives. The drone can cover steep faces on the mountain without having to send someone in on foot, and it can examine crevices without having to have someone rope down into the crevice. The drone recently captured an image of a jacket in an area nearly inaccessible to ground searchers. When it was spotted, we used the GPS coordinates to send people out there to locate it. It did not belong to Sam, but this is an indication of what the drones can do.
And just really quick, like finding another jacket, that could be a whole different person that went missing.
Another missing case. And a
Right.
lot of times when they're searching for others, sometimes they find
Clues
bones
or
or something from remains of someone who was missing as well
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Now, Monchok, who's been donating his time to the search project, said he decided to get involved because he wanted to help Sayers' family. She grew up in Girard, Pennsylvania, and he grew up in a borough not far from there. I'm going to continue doing this until she is found, he said. We can see a tennis ball from 150 feet up, so if Sam is out there, we will see her. Steve Monchok is asking volunteers to examine images that may offer digital evidence. The online aspect of this is huge, he said. Or actually, he had told the Huffington Post this. I couldn't do it alone. After you look through a couple hundred images, your eyes get pretty tired, so these people are great help. They are finding things and notifying us of unusual objects. It just proves we can all work together on the same project from anywhere.
And this project is similar to a crowdsourcing campaign started after the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The plane, which was carrying more than 200 people from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, vanished on March 8, 2014. And it was presumed to have crashed in the far southern Indian Ocean. More than 2 million people examined satellite images of suspected crash locations captured by Colorado-based satellite operator Digital Globe. While it's been reported that some debris has washed ashore in various places, the plane has yet to be found.
The technology that we have nowadays is just insane. I mean,
Yeah, from a hiker putting on a GPS, for their location that you can find them instantly, to these drones and, the infrared cameras for heat seeking, it seems like we should be, getting more of these cases solved.
right. So now it's early March, just after Mardi Gras 2019. And just as a reminder, this is the time of the year that Sam and Kevin had kind of started talking and met each other. But Kevin states, the happiest situation I can think of is that she's on that mountain and it was something quick and she didn't suffer for too long. Sergeant Adams thinks Sam is somewhere on that mountain, not far from where she was last seen. He points to the moats off the north side of the peak where the steep bottom of the cliff meets the glacier. Those moats haunt Kevin too. He knows they'll never really be able to search the bands between the ice and rock that fill up with snow every winter.
Her grandparents, who live on Harson's Island in Michigan, about 300 miles from Sam's parents in Girard, Pennsylvania, started a yellow ribbon campaign and tied ribbons around trees to help keep national interest in the story in hopes that authorities resume the search.
You can't just disappear, Lisa says. Until there's proof otherwise, my girl is out there and we are going to find her.
So anyone helping in the search or hiking in that area, please study the maps and trail information before heading out. A reminder that Vesper Peak in the North Cascades on the Mountain Loop Highway is an 8-mile round-trip hike. So it's a long day, and you better, come prepared. The elevation gain is 4,200 feet. The highest point reaches 6,214 feet. And rating on a scale of 5, it's a 4.33 difficulty. So it's not for inexperienced hikers.
A GoFundMe page was created and had raised $60,000 for the search. And there was also a $20,000 reward if anyone had known anything about the disappearance of Sam.
And friends created a group page called Find Sam Sayers, and it's hashtag Find Sam Sayers to be specific, that would grow to more than 30,000 followers. And as we stated, Kevin shut down the Facebook group and others sprung up in its wake. Sam's mother, Lisa, stated one, which we also have told you, called Love, Light, and a Miracle.
And then on June 20th of 2019, Lisa posted, I am sure Sam won't mind, so I changed the name to Love, Light, and 2 Miracles, and will be using this group to keep you updated on my cancer journey, as well as our active investigation for our precious daughter. Lisa Sayers battled breast cancer in 2008 and won that battle, but it appears she is fighting this battle again, so we are sending her thoughts and hope and our strength.
Yes, we are thinking of Lisa, Ron, Sam, the family through this difficult time. So if anyone has any information, you can contact the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office at 425-388-3393. And again, our hats off to this fantastic operation that went on to find Sam.
Yeah, everyone that joined in, the rescue team, bringing out the helicopters, the search dogs, all of that. I mean, this is one of the best search teams that we have read about in all the cases that we've done.
Very involved, very efficient,
Yeah,
and very heartfelt throughout the whole thing.
Now, if you guys have any questions or want to email us or have any more information about this case, our email is mysteriously-missing411@gmail.com.
Or you can look at our Instagram, Mysteriously Missing.
We also have our YouTube page, which this will be up on YouTube. Please check out part 1. This is an amazing, just all the rescue teams that came out, all the information that we have for this case. Check it out. We broke it into 2 parts just because it was such a long case for you guys to listen to. But check that out. We'll have pictures. We'll have maps, everything up on YouTube. You can download it if you're driving to work and want to listen to it. It'll be available on iTunes and Spotify. But please just keep spreading the word. Sam's got to be out there, and we really need to help this family find her.
And find closure.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.